Hello everybody, it's John here. It is March the 2nd of 2024 and the new bee season is starting, and I just wanted to crack open my little top bar hive here, the A1, because it's been so busy the last 3 weeks. The bees have really been bringing in quite a bit of pollen and nectar. Maple trees have been blooming for almost 3 weeks. We've had a few cold spells where it got chilly again and they balled up, but today it's warm and the bees are buzzing, and I know I need to expand this hive a little bit to make room for them as the brood starts to develop really heavily here in March. So I just thought I'd crack it open here and take a quick look and see how the bees were doing. When I opened it up, I did have a few hive beetles on my end frames, and I was smashing them just a little bit ago. So they actually overwintered. There's one there. And I didn't know how well they did that, but like I say, I've already got a few hive beetles. I'm gonna have to watch these closely. The hive is strong enough to keep them at bay, but if they would ever have some issues, the hive beetles can really take over pretty quick. So I'm gonna try to move along here kind of just till I get down to the brood section. They're already filling these up with quite a bit of nectar. And again, really the only source right now that I know of is the maple trees are blooming really good. The autumn olive trees are just getting ready to start. The leaves are turning green, so they'll be popping out here in the next couple weeks. I'm down now to some brood, and we have a lot of drone brood on here. This whole comb is got quite a few drone. And I've always been told that once they start producing a lot of drone, that's a good sign of a strong colony. There is larvae in there too, but there's drones that have been sealed, and here's one that may even be ready to start to open. Down to some more drone brood. Here is, we got drone brood on the outside edge, and some regular baby bees, the females here, brood in the center. So I'm getting ready to, a lot of larvae there too. So they are already really starting to ramp up the bees. Here we go, more brood, lots of brood there, starting out on both sides, larvae. I am in the sun. It's kind of warm here, but it's still only about 60 degrees right at the moment, so I really don't want to leave anything open. My whole goal here was just to get down to where the brood is at, and boy, they have a lot of it. I'm amazed at how much they've already made. And a lot of it's hatched out. Oh, heavy one here. Got a little bit of drone brood at the bottom. little circle with the brood in the center, drone breed around the outside edges. They've been bringing in massive amounts of pollen and also nectar. It does feel like they do have a little bit of honey here on some of these. This one's got a lot of pollen in it. But in March you do have to worry because they're building up so much that, and there we go, that's pollen and honey there. They are building up so much that they can easily go through their food sources. So I just need to monitor them. I wanted to make sure how they were doing, if they had any honey left over. They do have just a little bit at the very end, but they went through pretty well their honey stores this winter. We had a lot of ups and downs. We'd get up to 50 degrees and then down in the 20s and back and forth all winter long here in southern Illinois. I've still got the insulation in the top here, insulation boards and the double bubble here, and I'll leave it on, and I sometimes just leave this on all summer, the double bubble. But last couple years I've had a little bit of trouble with comb collapse in the summer. It was up to 104 and 105 and several days in the hot weather, and these are all fully out in the sun. So this past year I painted the metal tops, the galvanized metal, kind of a white color to reflect some heat, and that dropped the temperature down just on your hand, holding your hand on it quite a bit, and I think it helped at the end of the last year. But also I saw this from a guy down in Australia, and he ended up putting some dowel rods here in the center, and I just had put these in late last summer, and the bees had started to build comb on them. But I'm thinking that maybe the dowel rod, if they attach to it really well, it will help hold the comb a little stiffer, because the comb is really so heavy through here, and it's even possible that I might have tilted it a little too much with heavy honey on it and slowly cracked it, and then as the heat continued that summer, they ended up just breaking and collapsing. I did lose a hive last year because of comb collapse, and really that's been my own. I've had a couple losses in the winter in the last 6 years, maybe 2, but I've also had 3 to 4 abscond in the summertime, the last couple summers, because of heat. So I'm trying everything I can to find ways to keep the hive a little cooler. I also just watched a guy down in Florida, can't remember everybody's name, but what they recommended on doing is now this time of year is expanding your brood area so that the bees continue to have more room to lay eggs, so they might not tend to swarm as quick. That doesn't mean it will stop them from swarming, but basically he used the method of you can always keep 2 frames of brood together and only put 1 new empty frame in between them. So that way there's plenty of bees to keep the brood warm, even though you've added a new frame, of a frame in the empty frame in the middle. And he also recommended never to put 2 empty frames together, because that leaves such an area that the bees are separated, and that's not recommended either. So I do think I'm going to put a couple in the middle of the brood. I've got about 7 or 8 bars here, a good strong brood on them. I'll probably separate a couple of them and put 2 extra new frames in, so it gives them something to do here too the next month. And I will probably go ahead and expand the whole hive a little more, because if it stays warm like it's supposed to, we'll start getting more nectar and pollen coming in, and I just want to give them enough room to continue to expand. Last year, the first swarm that I had and I caught was at the very end of March, last couple days of March. Since the temperature has been so warm early this year, we're 3 weeks ahead of schedule, I believe. I'm going to try to be prepared in case they would start swarming here later in the month. I'm going to put this one back together. They seem to be doing fine, okay, as long as they have enough resources. I hope you all are doing okay. 2024 bee season again has begun. I wish you well, and may the Lord bless you. Have a good day.